Miles the Monster is ready to make some noise. Who will tame the beast at Dover? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eliza Bethel alongside Pete Ruzick. How you doing tonight, Pete?
Eliza, I am doing absolutely fine. Hope you are ready for Miles. See what's going to happen tonight. Hopefully, with all the wrecks during this practice session, Miles is no longer hungry, and we're going to have a great race ahead. Who do you got this evening, Eliza?
Man, we have 2 driver spotlights tonight. I'm excited about it. We have our first one is going to be Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. He's the pilot of that 00 for GOAT Racing, and we also have Rivers Jones, another veteran driver. He is for the number 91 for Dart Motorsports. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Oh yeah, doing great.
Glad to hear it. All right, we're going to get started with this interview. The first one is going to be easy. I'll take it easy on you. Use one word to describe Dover. And we're going to start with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
I guess I'll just say fast because they're pretty much on the edge at all times around here.
That's fair. It is fast around here. I think it's pretty fun, but man, it is slippery. So, Rivers, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with dangerous because I don't know. Every time I'm driving this racetrack, I feel like I'm on the edge 100% of the time, and it's completely possible that I can just lose control and wreck. And I feel like that is very uniquely Dover.
That is so true. I think tonight, we could see a couple of cautions, and it is, especially for me coming out of 4, that was pretty dangerous. So it's probably best that I'm in the booth tonight. But all right, question number 2. What has been your favorite moment racing this season? And we're going to start with Rivers for this one.
I'm gonna have to go with last week at the Daytona Road Course. I started 19th, and I was able to work my way up to 3rd by the end of the race, and I just really enjoyed driving that racetrack. It's such a fun and technical road course, and it's just tons of fun to drive, and I'm happy that I got such a good result out of it.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that, but man, huge props to you. That was so fun to watch for sure. All right,
Thank you.
Jonathan, what about you? What is your favorite moment racing this season?
I'm probably gonna go with Phoenix and running it all race with my teammates Steven and Mike all race. So yeah, it was a pretty fun race.
Nice. All right, question number 3. What do you enjoy doing outside of iRacing? And we're going to start with Jonathan. We lose you, Jonathan. All right, we'll go to Rivers for this one. Rivers, what is your favorite thing to do outside of iRacing?
I love to play basketball. It's always been a hobby of mine. I have my own basketball goal set up in my driveway, so I just
Nice.
like to just pop out and hoop a little bit in my free time.
All right. There's so many different hobbies that everyone has. I absolutely love to hear all of them. Very cool. All right, Jurg, what about you? What is your favorite thing to do outside of iRacing?
Yeah, sorry, my Discord crashed.
That's okay.
Outside of racing, I like to watch a lot of basketball, a lot of NBA. That's pretty much all I spend my time watching, and yeah, that's what I like to do.
Nice. So a couple of basketball fans out here. Very cool. Okay, Jonathan, who is your favorite NASCAR driver and your favorite paint scheme?
Oh boy, well, all time. He's not racing anymore, but I love me some Fun House. But right now it's probably Austin Cindric or Brad Keselowski. And my favorite paint scheme, right now I'm not sure. All time, I really like Brad Keselowski's Miller Lite scheme. That's definitely my favorite scheme that there is.
Yeah, chef's kiss to that. I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is, but any alcoholic beverage for a paint scheme is just on point. I don't know what it is, but they do such a good job with it. It's really weird. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, Rivers, what about you? Who is your favorite NASCAR driver and your favorite paint scheme?
Right now, my favorite NASCAR driver that races in the Cup Series is Chase Elliott. I've always been a fan of him ever since I started watching NASCAR.
Nice.
Right now, my favorite paint scheme out. That's so hard to narrow it down. But I don't know. I have a picture of Connor Zilich's Carolina Carports car that he won in Watkins Glen last year, sitting on my desk right now, and that's a
Ooh, okay.
pretty nice paint scheme. So I'm gonna have to go with that one.
All right, fair enough. I'll need a reminder about that one. I'll have to look it up for sure. All
Oh, it's
right.
great.
Yeah, I'll definitely look it up. Final question for tonight. Who do you think is gonna win here at Dover? And we're gonna start with Rivers.
Oh, man, that's so difficult. I don't. Brennan Book's at the top of the practice chart right now by almost half a tenth. You know what, I'll go with Brennan Book. He's been good this season. I make paint schemes for him, and he pays me handsomely for it. So I'm gonna go with Brennan
Nice.
Book tonight. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, Jerg, what about you? Who do you think is gonna win here at Dover?
Um, it's kind of tough. I don't know if Steven's able to make it tonight. If he does, if he is, I'd say it's Steven Matthew. But besides him, I think the FIWB boys are really quick. I could definitely see Brody end up winning tonight.
Okay, you guys heard it there. I appreciate you guys coming out to the booth tonight so we can bug you and ask you a few questions. It's been fun getting to chat with you, and I wish you a ton of luck going into tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you afterwards.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Good luck,
All
gentlemen.
right.
Thank
Take it
you.
easy. All right, Pete. We're getting
Yes.
ready to go to qualifying here. We'll see what these guys can do, but man, it was fun getting to talk to everybody, and I think we're going to have a wild night out here for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean Rivers Jones in that number 91's been bad fast every single race so far this season. I don't see that streak ending tonight whatsoever. I talked to a few other drivers, some very very confident, others not so much. I mentioned to John Honeycutt about him getting a win here last season, and I think he's going to be very very strong. I think Justin Anisagok is going to be very strong tonight as well. He mentioned in another league that he led over 140 laps in this car at this track. So I think he's going to be very strong in that 09. So to kind of pass along that question that you just asked those drivers, who do you think gets it done this evening?
Ah, man, putting me on the spot. Okay.
Absolutely.
I know Honeycutt would love it. I got to go with FTR, man. I'm going to go with FTR tonight.
You can't go wrong. Honeycutt is very, very strong. That number 50 right now sitting P6 on the boards. And when the backside's not kicking out, he looks very, very stable up and off both sets of corners. So we'll have to see how that Team FTR driver does throughout the evening. Hopefully those mechanical woes that he's had as of late between his wheel and his pedals and his computer don't fail him this evening. If that doesn't happen, I think he has a very, very strong run. What Jerk said about the 5 of Brendan Book, he wasn't wrong either. I mean, Brendan right now still sitting on top of the boards by, as he said, a full 10th. Draft, not a very big thing around here, but damage can absolutely slow your car around this 1 mile concrete roller coaster.
Absolutely. And I see you guys out there. Violet, I hope you're doing well. He says, solid prediction. Day, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Can't wait to race with you tomorrow. I hope you're doing well, but thank you for the sub. 11 months and on a 3-month streak. Freaking awesome. You guys are amazing. Let me know, who do you think is going to win tonight? What is your prediction? And Pete,
Yes.
as soon as we went live, Trading Paints brought up all the paint schemes, so we're good to go on that, right? I know, just in time.
I will go ahead and reset right now and see if it'll come up for me as well. I'm still getting that wheel of death. But yeah, hopefully it does reset for me. I mean, I do see the 91 in a blue Hellman's car, if that's right. Meanwhile, on your stream, I see he's in his typical orange or creamsicle colored number 91. So I'll have to pay attention to your stream as far as what the cars actually look like when I'm trying to talk about them.
Man, these guys are just taking a nosedive into the wall for the final few seconds of practice. You can tell it is extremely loose out here, guys. It is really wild. I was having issues coming out of 4. Uh, Drivers were saying it's loose coming out of no matter what turn you're exiting out of. So I think it's just something that we're going to have to watch tonight. I think this is going to be a more caution filled night than what we've seen lately. We've seen some very, very clean races lately, which has been absolutely phenomenal to watch. But tonight, Miles the Monster, he is out here and he is ready to grab some cars. So qualifying, we're getting ready to go here. But man, gotcha. I see you out there. I've been doing good. I hope you are too. I am ready for a wonderful, exciting, crazy race. I'm kind of curious. I wonder how qualifying is going to go out here. It is very slippery, and one mistake out here, you guys know it's going to cost you in qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying can be very, very treacherous. Everybody wants to get to the top of the board. That way they're not in that melee as what usually happens at a track like this. Also, Eliza, Dover is what's called a self-cleaning track. Where if you do wreck up high, most of the time due to the very, very strong banking or very steep banking here, you do end up on the bottom of the track. So it's going to be sketchy to see where drivers go in order to avoid any kind of carnage that we see throughout the race.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see these guys really bringing it down low. So these drivers are just hugging the bottom all the way through. A couple of different ways to handle how to drive this, but so far we see Tom Flitcroft on there with a 2280, Zach Deutscher with a 2285, Josh Taylor 2294, and we're going to see these times continuously coming in, and we'll see where they round out, but they will have another lap for a lot of these drivers. And Lewis Zader out there, P7, we saw him have a fantastic finish for his debut last week at the Daytona Road Course. Quite a race to make your debut at. And Rivers Jones, all right, we just talked to him, and he's out there currently with the best time. Drigensmeyer, he was also out here. He's sitting P2 so far, Pete.
Yeah, how about those two? And then, Tom Harmon, Mike Allard, he's going to go ahead and push his way on up to P number 2. Tom Flitcroft sent out a tweet earlier. He said, "I'm back. Welcome back to Dover," the one and only Tom. And I'm hoping for some great things out of that number 8 Bud car tonight.
Absolutely. You see Matt Sisler out there, Luke Allen. We'll see Matthew Gale, Dylan Robb, Mike Papa Bear Campbell. We'll see what they can do out here. Brody Folliker has yet to put down a time, I do believe, so we'll see what he can do out here. John Honeycutt is just coming out for his qualifying time, and Justin Anisagak, he is out here also. It looks like a newer paint scheme for Justin out there.
I haven't seen it as of yet. Thank you very much, Trading Paint. But how about Brendan Book on his first lap was good enough for P6.
Yeah.
His second lap around 22.72 to a 73 for Justin Rott. Rivers Jones P3, P4 for the one and only Micah Allard. And then Jimmy Cocker in that number 11 Toyota right now sitting P5. Jared Hamilton, Harmon, Flitcroft, Turley, and Bird round out the top 11, but some very fast times getting put out here. Mostly, Eliza, in the 22s for the most part, going all the way back to P21. Very fast times, very, very close.
Very, very fast. Brody's going to take it to pole so far. We still have some time left in qualifying. We'll see if he's able to hold on to that. John Honeycutt currently 7th on the board, but man, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor. They, for Izzy and Jay Soap Company, they craft natural handmade soaps. They have beard balms and tattoo butters. Very natural, great for the environment. Go ahead and visit them at izzyandjaysoap.com. Really cool products out there, and if you struggle with any skin issues from just all the chemicals that are out there currently, these guys will absolutely set you up with natural, good-for-you products. So give them a visit out there, and if you can, buy something from them.
My wife actually, and this is a true story, my wife recently got a tin of their body butter. She got a really, really nasty scratch on her chin from one of our dogs that jumped up on a chair while she was working, caught her right at the bottom of her chin, and she put a Band-Aid over it with some Neosporin, whatever. It just kept on keeping the the sore open. She got some of that tattoo butter and putting it on. It doesn't do the same thing, and it actually looks a whole lot better. There's no redness around the scratch. Looks really really good. I actually reached out to him to say thanks. So far so good. No, hoping the goal there is no scarring. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully that heals her right up. It looks like qualifying is pretty much over. Brody Folliker is going to be the top of the board with Justin Inisagak is in second, Brennan Book third, Justin Rott in fourth, John Honeycutt in fifth, Rivers Jones gonna wound up sixth, Micah Allard in seventh, Jimmy Cocker eighth, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer ninth, and Francis Hamilton going to round out your top 10 as we head into the warm up here. And since we're doing that, I want to go ahead and bring up the track analysis for tonight here at Dover. Race length, it's going to be 200 laps. We're not going to have any fast repairs. Now, for stage one, it's going to be 60 laps long, which means at the conclusion of lap 60, we're going to give bonus points to our top 10 drivers. There will be no caution that will come out. We will just go ahead and score those top 10 drivers with the bonus points. Our second stage will be the remainder 140 laps. They will have 4 fresh tire sets tonight, and they're going to have to take care of them here at Dover because they will chew those tires up. So, wild night at Dover, and as you said, a self-cleaning track. I wonder how many it's going to take tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, I mean, if you're talking about 4 sets of tires, you're talking having to take care of them. And I believe it was Jurgensmeyer who was talking about, or maybe it might have been Rivers talking about more off the right rear. If you're driving here more off the right rear, you're going to be very, very thankful for that little bit of looseness a little bit later on. Because if you've got limited tires here, you don't want to be pushing with that right front. Otherwise, you're going to hear that announcement from your spotter very, very quick that your right front is wearing out, and you don't want to pop a right front going into one of these turns. It will end your night.
Absolutely, and that is not a good thing to have happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at our point standings. We've had a little bit of a change here. Brody Folliker, he's still in the lead with 237 points. But let's go through Matthew Opliger. He has moved up 3 spots to P3 with 209 points. We've had Steven Maggio. He went down 4 spots last week at the Daytona Road Course. Unfortunate events for him that happened. Jonathan Hernandez moved up 4 spots after a great finish last week. And then Jordan McGraw, he moved up 8 spots in the standings to P19. So a great finish for him last week. Definitely helped him out. I think tonight is going to be another race that we're going to see things shake up a little bit in the standings.
Absolutely loves the road courses. Very, very good at it. He's part of the Shake and Bake Open Wheel Series as well. So I really look forward to a great show from a lot of guys this evening. Last week we had a phenomenal race. The week before that was really good as well. Things have definitely turned for the better since Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we just need to keep on rolling with this momentum. But a guy that's rolling with a whole lot of momentum still during this practice, the one and only Brendan Book with a 22.79. Everybody else is in the 8s or above. That 5 is bad fast right now.
He sure is. I mean, obviously he loves this track, and we'll see where he finishes out, but I'm on board with Jose Ruiz, and you can just see how upset this car gets. Even down the front stretch here and the back stretch, the car is just so unsettled. You really have to keep hold of that wheel and try to control it. Coming out of 4 is going to be an issue, coming out of 2 also, but man, these guys so far doing a great job at keeping control of that car.
Yeah, Rivers Jones, one of our highlight or spotlight drivers, right now sitting P3 in his number 1 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Is kind of surrounded. Right now we've actually got, if you're a big fan of the different manufacturers, Right now, Bowtie is leading the way. Jimmy Cocker P2 in his Toyota, and then a Ford for P3. So a little bit of parity here. I think we're going to see a lot of parity this evening, just like we've seen in the various winners so far this evening. I don't think it stops here tonight.
I agree. We've had a couple of different winners out here. Our first several races had different winners, and the last two at Chicago and the Daytona Road Course had repeat winners. So Stephen Maggio, he has won 2 races this season, and Matthew Opliger, he has also won 2 races. Curious who we're going to see out there tonight. Will it be another new winner that will punch their ticket? A little bit of a nudge from the 68 to the 50 in the warm-up here, and man, things get a little wild on the backstretch. Real, I see you out there. Hope you're doing well. Weren't you doing some races over the weekend? I know they had Sebring 24-hour. Let me know if you did that and how it went. Oh, some contact and trouble on that backstretch right there.
The 68 frozen machine for Mr. Harmon gave a little bit of a love punch to the back end of the 50 for John Honeycutt, and as the 51 takes a hard shot to that outside wall, and we're going to set up the grid.
We're going to do the grid here, and we're going to have Brody Folliker on pole with a 22.659 for that number 42 machine. We're going to have Justin Anisagak on the outside. Row 2, we're going to have Brendan Book in that 5 car with Justin Rott in the 76. Row 3 is going to be John Honeycutt with Rivers Jones to his outside. Row 4 is going to be Micah Allard in that 61 with Jimmy Cocker and that a number 11 machine. And in row 5 is going to be Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in that 00 with Francis Hamilton in the 48 to his outside.
Yeah, Tom Harmon in that number 68, sitting P11 and to his outside to round out the top 12. The one and only Tom Flitcroft in that Bud number 8. Behind those guys, P13 looks like it's going to be Jonathan Hernandez in the 1 with Joe Turley in the 13, sitting P14. P15, Joe Berg in that number 93 with Josh Taylor in the deuce to his outside. P17, Philip Bridgman out of Canada in that number 24 with Austin Mitty in the 9, P18. P19, the double deuce, Zach Deutscher with Louis Zader in the 02, sitting P20.
21st is going to be Stephen Maggio in the 51 car with Jordan McGraw in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Luke Allen with Jose Ruiz in 24th. And in 25th is going to be Kevin Dallator in the 92 with Matt Sisler in the 45 and P26. P27 is Andrew Sanford with 28th, Connor Cunningham. Matthew Galen 29th with Dylan C. Robb in 30th.
Garrett Cardwell in that 12 for 31st, 32nd. Mike Popbear Campbell in that number 71. 33rd is going to be Brian Piskemi in that 78. Last but not least, the one and only Jai Baxter out of the land down under in that 54, P34. Eliza, these guys are all geared up. Lights atop the pace truck are out. I know they cannot wait to be set free. Let's go racing.
Here we go, racing. And I'll tell you what, I didn't even show Jai, but here we go. You can see these guys already going across the start-finish line for 200 laps at Dover Motor Speedway. A great race so far with Justin Anisagak on that outside. Brody Folliker on the inside. And remember, guys, these are cold tires out here. It's going to be slippery, and these guys will have to watch it as we head to lap 2.
Yeah, Justin Anisagak got a clear advantage over the 42 of Brody Folliker right now sitting P2. Brendan Book started 3rd, still right where he continues to run, but I don't see that staying the case very long. We'll have to see how he handles on the long run, but right now staying P3, P4 Justin Rott, and P5 Rivers Jones. So a couple guys staying right where they started, not too much movement as of yet. But that 09, I mentioned it before, he led a whole bunch of laps in this car at this track not too long ago, came in with a world of confidence on his shoulders.
Man, a lot of movement as we go through here. I see some drivers just doing a little bit of a slide job in front of teammates even. So these guys really trying to get into a position that they're comfortable with, trying to get their car handling underneath them. We're seeing a lot of single file as before we were too wide all the way through. Towards the back here, we're going to have 2 wide. We see the 24, that is going to be Philip Bridgman. He is on the outside of that 51, which is going to be Stephen Maggio.
Yeah, Steve Maggio down low right ahead of them. You see the 9 of Austin Mitty. So Philip Bridgman up on the high side, Maggio down low. Looks like Maggio's going to have the go-ahead coming up and off the corner, which is usually kind of rare because once you're pinched to the bottom, you can't exactly get back in the throttle right when you want to. But you see that 24 up high, that those DuPont colors really boding pretty well as he makes a little bit of contact with the wall.
Check on these drivers. He's still up and going, trying to get in front of Luke Allen in that 7 machine. The 0-2 with contact. Philip with nowhere to go. Can they stay green? Still moving, but I don't know. Man.
Yep, 67 got collected hard up into that outside wall. Caution number 1's going to fly. Sorry, Frozen.
Yeah, no, you're good. Absolute chaos as these drivers are trying to get around. Let's see if we can get a replay on what exactly happened here. I do believe it was just some contact. Almost had it saved, but just trouble kind of everywhere here.
Dylan Robb in that profile picture. Absolutely gotta love it. I tell you. Cracks me up every time I see it.
As soon as the caution came out, I go over to him, and it just looks like he's laughing at it.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like the 0-2 tags the wall, and 24, as you said, nowhere to go. Had a whole bunch of momentum up on that high side, and as you know, these cars do not stop on a dime. But you did see, Frozen, or Eliza, just like we mentioned before, how all those cars that were wrecking ended up coming down the track. So sometimes that high line is really where you want to be.
Yeah, you know, you really have to pick and choose where you're going to go when you're trying to avoid an incident, and definitely the higher side is probably the way to go for most of these, as what you said. These drivers just head on down the track. And speaking of heading on down the track, a lot of these drivers going into pit lane on lap 8 on our first caution. And remember, we do have where these guys have to claim a caution. If you are causing a caution, you will get an EOL. And I do believe, you know, I'm assuming that Lewis might have claimed this one as he tagged the wall, but I don't know, a couple of different things were going on there, Repeat.
Yeah, a couple of different things, but I mean the 24 certainly had to react to the 0-2 getting caught up into that outside wall, as 24 and him barely miss each other, as the 24 trying to pull into his pit stall as the 0-2 was trying to pull out. Looks like the 09 of Aniscock still leading. Brendan Books up to P2. Falliker, Jones, and Rott are our top 5 still. Some guys definitely showing some strength early. We'll have to see if it continues as the night rolls on, but there were a good 4 or 5 collected in this one.
Yeah, there was. Francis Hamilton is going to be 6, up 4 spots from where he started. Jimmy Cocker up a spot to P7. John Honeycutt down 3 spots from where he started, sitting P8. Micah Allard in 9th, and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer going to round out your top 10.
What do you think? Eliza? I'm hoping that cautions aren't going to breed cautions. It was a nice start to that race. Everybody kind of found a little bit of a groove. Most of it seemed like it was on the high side. A whole lot of single file, pretty much racing the racetrack. Let the cars come to them, and then you start to those that are moving forward. If they're burning their stuff up, you kind of wait to see you later. As maybe they're just keeping their tires under them. Again, they're going to have to go a good 50 laps per set. Or no, actually, they got 4 sets this evening. So they're going to have to use them sparingly, we'll say.
Absolutely. It's a tough track, no doubt. And I think we're going to see more drivers coming out of the exits and hitting that wall, and that's exactly what we saw right there. We saw it during warm-up. We saw it during practice. I think it's just going to be an issue tonight, and unfortunately, when you're this close racing, you're going to have a caution.
All right, well, we're going back green. It's going to be the 09 and the 5. The 09, by virtue of being the control car, should get a decent little jump here, as he does. Pulls right ahead from the 5 and believe that was the 91 of Rivers Jones. The 5 actually spun the rear tires just a little bit. That's not something that we talk much about, but they're back away.
They're back away in the 09, as Pete said, with a great restart here. Brendan Book kind of holding up the remainder of the drivers, but they are on the run. We have Brody Folliker in that 42 in 3rd. Rivers Jones in 4th, and these guys are off and moving already single file for these first several drivers, and then once you start going past 6 and so on, they're going to go 2, and it looks like they want to take it 3 wide as we go down the backstretch. Definitely going to have to watch it coming off these exits. It is treacherous and slippery.
Absolutely looks like the 11 of Jimmy Cocker able to pull a little bit of a slide job on the 76 of Justin Rott. So that's going to get back single file behind them. You see the 50 of John Honeycutt with the 61 of Micah Allard right below him. No hole yet for that 61 to move on up. Try to get to that high side also, as now the 00 of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is going to fill that gap.
2 wide between Micah and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who is blinking out. Currently not exactly what you want to see when you're this close racing, but here we are. Josh Taylor right behind it, having a bird's eye view on what's happening. Steven Maggio, he has gained 9 spots. No surprise here. This driver, everywhere we take him, he's got a good car, just unfortunate luck in the last race. Let's see them coming out of the corner here. So far looking good. The 51 going to take it down low underneath, trying to take it underneath that 2 machine, but that 61 and 2, they're still battling it out.
Yeah, behind them, the guy that's, again, mentioned that he was back, the one only Tom Flitcroft in that number 8 Bud car behind Maggio, wondering which line is going to move the most. It seems like that high side momentum is where you want to be. Sometimes these drivers will tag that wall just a little bit. One of our spotlight drivers did mention that coming up out of 2, it seems like the wall came up very, very quick, and indeed it does.
It sure does. Here we go with Thomas Harmon. He's got a teammate right behind him. That's going to be Jonathan Hernandez. These guys are 14th and 15th. Joe Berg in that 93, he's got some company behind him. Joseph Turley in P17 with Matt Sisler. He's sitting in 18th, up 8 spots from where he started. Connor Cunningham 19th, and Austin Mitty, he's going to be 20th.
Yeah, Austin Mitty right now has the 37 of Andrew Sanford. Old Sandy right behind him in 21st. Right now up 6 spots. Behind him is going to be that double deuce of Zach Deutscher. He's down 3, but how about the 12 of Jarrett Cardwell and his number 12 Ford? He's up 8. And then Louis Zader, after that issue earlier in his 02 Chevrolet, down 4. But Jose Ruiz only down 1. I'm hoping for a good luck or a bit of a turnaround for Jose. He's always, he's kind of like that silent killer. You know, he creeps up on you, and once he's got that lead, he's very, very hard to get it back from.
That is very true, but I'll tell you what's been a silent killer for Jose this season is his luck. He has he has not had any luck this season, so I know he's looking forward to that to change. Brian Pizzikimmy looks like he's trying to make a run up here, but look at Dylan Robb. A nice run for him as he's making his way around that 23 machine. Jose, he likes that long run. He loves saving those tires and having that. So do not expect him to stay in 26. I guarantee we're going to see some cars fall back to him, and he's going to make up some spots.
Yeah, I have no doubt. He's great at saving fuel, great at saving his tires. He's very, very good at racing the track as caution's back out on track.
Looks like it's going to be John Honeycutt involved. Let's take a look, find out if we can see what happened here. This is coming from, last season he had a nice win here. Looks like, I don't know, man, some net code out there. You can just see the spacing in between the drivers, and since their last update, it's been brutal. But, man, you can see his right front tire just non-existent, flapping around as he was trying to save it and then got nailed by a couple other cars. So I don't know if he's even going to be able to come back out, but if he is, it's going to be a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, Zach Deutscher coming through the corner, could not have seen where the 50 was and just plugged the 50 of John Honeycutt. But great job by John to keep that car, locked down. That way it wasn't moving, just a blind corner for Zach, nowhere to go.
Fortunate for some of these drivers as they're making their way on down pit lane. Remember, we only have 4 sets of tires, so they will have to pick and choose when they take those fresh tires. We have a few drivers that are going to go ahead and stay out. Brennan Book, Justin Rott, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Josh Taylor, Steven Maggio, Micah, Tom Flitcroft. Hernandez, Matt Sisler. So quite a few drivers stay out while the remainder are going to make their way in.
Yeah, only 12 drivers stayed out front. As you said, Brendan Book, Rock, Jurgensmeyer, Taylor, Maggio, the rest of them, Micah Allard, Tom Flitcroft, John Hernandez, Matt Sisler, Connor Cunningham, which is where you left off in the top 10 rather. Austin Mitty and Lewis Zader in that deuce, or 0-2 rather. He's gonna pick up a few spots after having some contact with the wall earlier. Have to see who wins the fight off pit road.
Want to have a chat, see if we can get Brennan Book in here. If I can even find where we have the booth, I'll try to find it out here. I know it's. Let's hope we put him in here. Brendan, is Eliza in the booth? How you doing out there?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. We know that this track is a little dangerous out here. How are you feeling here at Dover?
I'm feeling pretty good so far. Just riding. I was, trying to get the lead there for a little bit, but at the same time, wasn't trying to go too hard on my stuff. Obviously, this caution right here shake things up, but some people pitting, some people staying out. So hopefully, I can stay up front here and get a good little run and still be the leader when the next caution comes out.
Do you think we're gonna get a little bit of a long run, or you think it's just gonna be some cautions out here?
I mean, I have no idea, honestly. Because obviously with people on older tires and people on new tires, there's be a lot of passing going on, so there's a lot of differing of speed. But I kind of did not want to be in that hornet's nest at this early in the race, so.
I don't blame you. Position is key for right now. I wish you a ton of luck moving forward, and hopefully we'll see you after the race.
Yep, thanks.
All right, you guys heard it there from Brendan Book. I mean, he was fast in qualifying, fast in warm-up, practice, you name it, and currently, he is going to be your leader coming back to the green with Justin Rott on the outside. We'll see if we can't get some green flag runs in, but lap 60, that will be the finish of stage 1. No caution will come out.
One question I would have loved to ask Brendan before going back is how many laps he would think that it would take for these tires to equalize. He mentioned some people going down pit road for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and probably topping off. When would he expect those guys to work their way on through and possibly get up to this?
Yeah, sorry, I saw Hernandez he just absolutely just lost it there. I don't know if he had some help. We'll try to go on board with him, but we saw him nose first into the wall and just a huge pileup.
Oh, yeah, you see all the cars going into the turn just on top of each other. Hellacious wreck.
Try to go back there. Have to go back a little bit of ways here. I don't know if he made yeah, it looks like these guys just really stacked up. They're trying to start here, the 61 in the back of the 2 car, and then, man, I don't know, it looks like the 61 just put on the brakes. I don't know that Jonathan Hernandez had anywhere to go, but that is just the big one already. So unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it almost looks like the 61 by the way that he lost the back end of the 2 of Josh Taylor. I almost wonder if maybe he went to go shift gears and ended up in neutral or something like that. Very unfortunate for a lot of these drivers back here. That is the big one.
I think we're going to have some drivers not too happy after this race. We've had so many clean races. This one's going to be a tough one for sure, I think.
Yeah, it really will. And we're about to see a lot of guys spend some decent time on pit road. Hopefully no meatballs for a few of these guys, and they'll be able to just spend mere seconds to maybe a minute and a half maybe to get a little bit of that damage fixed up, get back out on track, and hopefully we can get a few more green flag laps in.
Yeah, I'm on board with Micah currently and going through that restart there. I think that's a wrong gear start, and you can just see him trying to go through the gears right there, and I think it was a wrong gear start.
Very unfortunate. Yeah, you see the revs bump all the way up to like 9K plus. So we'll have to see what happens with the rest of this. And as you said, now under a claim system, see who takes ownership of that one.
Still see him up there in 8th, so not sure if they're still trying to review it, trying to get some information, but that'll be an interesting one to see. Joseph Turley out on pit lane, Rivers Jones, Jimmy Cocker, Joe Berg, Kevin. So many drivers, and I don't know, this cannot be good luck as Jungle Wizard, aka Thomas Harmon. He is raiding. I appreciate the raid, but tell me, Harmon, tell me it's not because you were finished.
Yeah, looking at his car on pit road, it is missing the entire front clip, all kinds of damage across the right side and more. Very, very unfortunate for that frozen number 68. I'm gonna guess we'll see him next week.
Yeah, I think that that one took a lot of drivers out. And Harmon, if you can, come out here in the booth and we'll have a chat with you. I don't know how much you're gonna want to chat, but man, wild start, lap 27 of 200. I think it's gonna be a long night there, Pete.
It's possible, but again, if we start to lose a few drivers by attrition and the field is thinned out, we'll have a better chance at, I don't want to say a better chance at some long green flag runs, because I really do believe that each and every one of these drivers in this community is capable of putting a great race together and being part of the show as the night goes on. About to go back green, 576 0051 and the
Green
deuce.
flag.
Let's go.
Here we go on a restart, and I'm going to get Harmon in here to chat for a second, but we're going to get these drivers off and running on this restart. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Thomas, you got a copy. It's Eliza in the booth.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, take us through what happened, and are we going to see you go back out? From the looks of it, it's not looking too good.
I mean, I'll be back out there, but we still got about 12 minutes left of damage. But yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, they just started slowing up in front of me, and the outside lane came to the inside, and I went down lower to try to avoid it. Next thing I know, I got a car in my door, and to the inside wall I go, and then it just wouldn't turn after that.
Yeah, I do believe that was going to be the big one tonight. Hopefully we have no more of those. We get you back on track, but great talking to you. I just wish it was under different circumstances.
Me too. We'll get them next week.
All right, you take it easy.
You too.
Got a battle for the lead, Eliza, as Harmon goes on back down to work on his car. The 51, the one and only Steven Maggio challenging to the inside of Brendan Book, but Book fighting back hard on the outside. The 76 to Justin Rock right there as well. He's going to slide up behind the 5, go back single file.
Yeah, some close racing there between the 5 and the 76. These guys trying to get single file, get their car underneath them, and try to settle in a little bit. You see that double O is going to be in 4th, Connor Cunningham in 5th. We have Tom Flitcroft, who is trying to bring it down low. Nowhere to go, but take a look at this battle back here. The 61 and the 12 going side by side for 7th. 61, though, it looks like he stayed up here, so he is not laying claim to that last caution.
Now look at that 12 of Jarrett Cardwell, though, up behind the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. Jarrett Cardwell, also a member of the Open Wheel Series with Shake and Bake. And I gotta give it to old JCX12. A guy does a phenomenal job, whether it's your typical cookie cutter, a very technical track like Dover. Very, I remember when he first started with this Monday night series, was Daytona. I think he finished like 4th. So Jarrett Cardwell never ceases to amaze. He's another one that's either feast or famine. If he doesn't get caught up in a mess, he normally does very, very well. And here he is again, knocking on the top 5. And just as I say that, around the 76, he goes on the outside.
Yeah, he sure does. And as you said, no matter what car you put him in, he always just does really well. And he's such a great guy, so it's wonderful to see him doing so well out there. But take a look at Steven Maggio out there over a half a second in front of Brendan Book. And we know Brendan is fast, so Steven always has that speed. So fun to watch out there. We'll see if they can catch up to him, but that gap is slowly increasing.
Yeah, I was curious how long it was going to take for those on tires to come up and try to get on by the 5 of Brendan Book. Well, the 3 of Connor Cunningham, he went in on lap 7. He just got around him. Now he's got the 25 of Jared Cardwell, who we were just talking about, knocking on his back bumper as well. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Justin Roth also have not gone down pit road yet. Andrew Sanford fills that P6 spot now. Luke Allen, he did go down pit road on lap 25. Tom Whitcroft also in another one not gone down pit road, but it looks like the 5 of Brendan Book, he's got to figure out a way to stop the bleeding. He's got to hope that these tires equalize very soon.
Yeah, these drivers still really going on at the 13, really close to that wall. The 7 really had to turn it to the left to try to keep it off that 13. Just really, really tight racing, and we've already seen 2 or 3 cautions so far this race. Coming up on lap 39. Remember that lap 60 is going to be the finish for stage 1, where our top 10 drivers will receive those bonus points. Steven Maggio, he is absolutely in, well, as soon as I say that, the gap is kind of staying very, very close to what it was before. So we'll see what they can do, but Jarrett Cardwell up 28 spots, P3.
Yeah, he's not done either. As they get into the corner, look how much longer he's able to stay in that throttle. Taking the 3 again on the outside. Power move by Jared Cardwell, trying to catch up to the back end of Steven Maggio. We might see that 12 in a lead before long.
Yeah, how about that? As you said, when he first came out here, he was so strong, and it's great to see him back up here. Apparently, Dover is a place he's got to love. I see a gotcha. Thank you so much for this sub. I appreciate it. He has gifted a sub out there for a total of 2. You guys are awesome. He says, great job, broadcasters. Great job, racers. And Matt, I see you out there. He says, Thomas was hitting everything, including the pit road barrels. And we saw a few drivers doing that during practice. Not what you want to see.
Did. Yeah, no, it's not what you want to see at all. Another thing that's not wanted to be seen by the 51 is he tries to make that bumper very, very wide. Cardwell pulling up to the backside. Here he is, round the outside, which has kind of been his way all evening long so far. Pulling up to the outside of the 51, going into the corner again. 37 sticking with the 12. Both of them going to be able to split the 51. Jared Cardwell, little loose, little fishtailing off the corner. New leader, 12 car.
Man, oh man, I thought that was going to be trouble right there. That 37 putting the pressure on that 12 machine, and they're going to take over that spot. Steven going to fall back to P4 with Joseph Turley in 3rd. So these guys making a run for it, but Jarrett Cardwell trying to get those bonus points for leading a lap in 37 says, not so fast. I'm going to go underneath, try to dive it. You can see him getting his car getting a little loose coming off that exit as they head into turn 2. These guys going crazy, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. You're starting to see all those that came down pit road on lap 25 start to work their way forward. Jared Cardwell leading the way is one of those guys. Andrew Sanford right behind him, as you just mentioned. Joe Turley in P3, Luke Allen in P4, P5 Jimmy Cocker. Steven Maggio has not yet gone down pit road, so a little bit of a break there. And then Rivers Jones and Joe Berg with Connor Cunningham, those on somewhat fresh tires to fill up most of the top 10.
This is where I get a little nervous as a driver because you want to race, you want to keep that lead spot, but I'll tell you what, those tires, and they have a lap car up ahead. So what are you going to do with that circumstance? These guys really trying to bring all that they can. Jimmy Cocker, it looked like he might have made some contact with the wall going into that corner. Not sure if he actually did, but a close call for him. Another new leader, Andrew Sanford, as he's got a nose out and catching that lap car.
Yeah, you see the 37 get wicked loose, go on down, get around the 92 of Kevin Dallator. So Jared Cardwell, now he's got a new driver too, who's inside, talking about the 13 of Joe Turley. Joe Turley now up 12 spots, Luke Allen up 20, Jimmy Cocker up 4, Andrew Sanford up 22. But right now, the biggest mover, our leader, Jared Cardwell.
Yeah, 30 spots gained. Absolutely incredible. Our top 5. They've seen pretty much everywhere. The 13 into that wall, so some trouble for him. Luke Allen going to have to check up. The 11 going to have to check up as we have trouble as that 13 is into the wall, but they hold on to it, allowing Jarrett Cardwell in that 12 machine. He's starting to get away, but the 13 going to try to make otherwise of that situation.
All right, right now, 48's got to feel like Superman, absolutely flying through the field. You see him just get on by the 13 in P2, trying to catch up to Jarrett Cardwell to get his lap back the old-fashioned way. Says, I don't need your lucky dog, let me go. 12 smartly moves on up the track, gives him the lane. 48 now with all kinds of clean air for him, but that's going to dump a little bit of dirty air on the nose of that 12. Not exactly what Jarrett Cardwell wanted to see, but hey, he's still leading the way.
Position is going to be keying out here tonight, so you've seen a lot of these drivers take a gamble on strategy, on whether to come in or not during these cautions, and Jarrett Cardwell staying out here for this position. And as Pete said, dirty air is huge. You want to try to stay clear of the car in front of you. If they're going to go all the way down, you're going to try to position yourself so you're not in that dirty air. You see the 7 and the 11. The 7 is towards the middle. The 11 is on his inside, trying to keep the front end clean, and he's going to go too wide, and that is going to be for P3.
Yeah, it looks like the 7 car might have given him a little bit of a break there, not really pinching him down on the bottom, but the 11 gets a great run up and off the corner. So Luke Allen's going to fall back one spot. Now he's got the 37, but the 7 says maybe not so fast. Nope, the 11 able to get back in the throttle, pull away a little bit from the 7. Now the 37 of Andrew Sanford all over the back end of that number 7 machine for Luke Allen.
Some traffic up ahead here. You see Andrew Sanford. He's got a lot of drivers up ahead that he can make a pass on as he is sitting 5th, currently up 22 spots. Meanwhile, Rivers Jones, we saw him in the driver spotlight. He is currently P6, exactly where he started with Steven Maggio. He is out there in 7th, leading this next pack out here, which has Joe Berg behind him, Brennan Book, who we saw out front earlier, Jose Ruiz, who I said we'll see him up front later on. Here it is. He's up 14 spots to P10.
Right now, Steven Maggio and Brendan Book, they've been able to kind of, as I mentioned before, stop the bleeding. Steven Maggio has fallen back to P7. Brendan Book right now back to P8. So those guys back to back. Joe Berg, Jose Ruiz, and Jonathan Hernandez, all 3 of those drivers went down on lap 25. Behind them, Jurgensmeyer, Roth, Flitcroft, Pollard, Taylor, Mitty, and Sisler. They have also not gone down pit road, but I think because Kemi Bridgman and a few others in the back that have been on pit road, they might have been more of the cars that were involved in that big one with that last caution.
Joseph Turley in the lead here, up 13 spots from where he started. Jimmy Cocker is going to make his move up into P2. You can see him right there. We have Jarrett Cardwell, who led a few laps. He is currently P3. He's got some company behind him. Luke Allen putting the pressure on him. Connor Cunningham, Andrew Sanford, these guys going 3 wide. Not a lot of places for these guys to go. You think it was racing for the final lap, but here we are at the end of stage 1. Coming up with 3 to go.
Yeah, Connor Cunningham working his way on the bottom in that GM Goodwrench machine. That was not a battle for position. Absolutely sent it in there. He was on pit road not too long ago. So that just goes to show what the speed difference is like when you got a brand new set of Eagle Feel Goods compared to some of these guys that were last on pit road. Lap 25, it looks like Connor Cunningham was on pit road lap 51, so just 7 laps ago, and that sense of speed as you're going around some of these slower cars has got to be amazing.
Jimmy Cocker with a nice gap out in the lead over Joseph Turley. He is now 7 spots to the good from where he started. Doing a fantastic job out here. A nice little gap. He's got Joseph Turley right behind Jarrett Cardwell in 3rd. So a lot of movement between these drivers, and I think we're going to start to see tire wear become an issue. I'm curious on the long run. Are they getting tight? Are they getting loose? What is it like on the exits of these cars currently?
It's got to be interesting. I tell you what, I think the 12 of Jarrett Cardwell really pushed to get on up there, lead a lap, grab a point as we're getting to the end of stage number 1.
looks like Jarrett might be getting a little tight. You can see him really cranking that wheel to the left, trying to make his way around. And he is going about mid-line. I do believe he's got a car underneath him, and that's going to be the 37 of Andrew Sanford. So it looks like these guys really starting to get tight. I'm curious, though, on that exit, is it going to try to snap loose? But they didn't look too loose out there. It just looks like it might be a little tight.
Yeah, you got to wonder a little bit, maybe in this dirty air, if it does help tighten up the cars just a little bit. Yeah, you're having to put a little bit of extra wheel in it if you can't choose, or if you can't find a little bit of clean air to get that nose planted. But at the same token, if you do get that clean air, as you got a little bit of extra wheel in it, a little bit more going to the left, does that happen to cause the car to step out? Great save by the 12, maybe a little bit of contact with the 37, but we're staying green.
Wow, I don't know how these guys held on to it. That was really, really wild, but great job to all these drivers in that 12 car for saving that one. He is under attack by that 37. He's got Steven Maggio underneath him in that 51 car. So a lot of movement, but let's take it back to this leader. Jimmy Cocker, almost a 2-second lead over Joseph Turley. Just under 2 seconds, so great job for him. I know this is exactly what he wants to see. That stage 1 has finished out here. Jimmy Cocker going to take out those 10 bonus points. Exactly what he needs and wants to happen, because he fell a couple of positions out here in the standings. He's currently 5th in standings, so that'll help him out a little bit.
Here comes his FIWB teammate on the bottom, talking about Brody Falliker. Again, not a battle for position, but getting on by to get his lap back. Looks like he is, I want to say, a little bit further in the back. Yeah, he's sitting in
29th.
29th. Yeah. So usually we don't talk about the 42 being that far back, but because he went down on pit road lap 24 with that caution, he's got a whole bunch of damage repaired now, and back under attack. He needs a bunch of more cautions to happen in order to gain some spots back, but right now we're all clean and green.
Yeah, we have Brody. He is our points leader heading into this race, so not what he wants to see. He was only, I do believe, 21 points ahead of Thomas Harmon, who we also saw in pit lane, spoke to him, and he wasn't even sure what happened ahead of him, but he is sitting out there in 30th, one spot behind Brody Falliker. I don't believe, Thomas Harmon is out there back on track, so he is able to salvage some points here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like from drivers P25 on back. 10 laps or more down. McGraw, Hamilton, Gale, Honeycutt, Falliker, and more. Those guys, I don't think we're going to see 10 laps. I don't think we're going to see 10 cautions for any of those guys to really gain a whole bunch of time. But they do need to stay out there and keep on plugging away, because you never know what could happen later on. You might just gain a spot or two.
Back here in P15, a lot of drivers around here. Tom Flitcroft in that 8 machine. He's got Josh Taylor above him, and you can see him trying to get some of that clean air, bringing it up high, bringing it back low, diamonding that entry. Austin Mitty in that 9 machine right behind him. We have Matt Sisler. He's going to be in 17th, and in front of him was John Honeycutt. That is not for position. Mike Allard is going to be 18th with Brian Pizzikimi in 19th. Philip Bridgman in that 24 machine. He's 20th.
Yeah, Mike Pop Bear Campbell right now up 11 spots in his number 71 Ford. Good job by him so far, sitting 21st. 22nd plus 8 is going to be the 16 of Dylan Robb. Connor Cunningham, who we saw go around the leader in that number 3, he's up 5 spots to 23rd. Kevin Dallator in that number 92. What you got?
Sorry, the 2 and the 8 made contact, and Josh Taylor just had a fantastic save. I mean, he was completely sideways going through that track and somehow saved it. I still don't know how, but currently P15.
Yeah, I actually just saw that on the replay, and great save by Josh Taylor. He was all kinds of sideways with the 8 of Tom Flitcroft down low. Not quite sure a little bit of net code or not, but either way, great job by Josh.
Absolutely. Thomas Harmon in 30th, Brody Folliker in 29th. A rough day for FTR. John Honeycutt in 28th. Jordan McGraw for FTR in 25th. But Jarrett doing well so far. And we have Jose Ruiz in the top 10 sitting 8th. But man, these drivers, those first couple of cautions really messed up some of these drivers at the start. But Jimmy Cocker, I don't know what he's doing, what's under that hood, but he's almost 3.5 seconds ahead of Luke Allen in that 7 machine. So whatever he's doing, he's got to continue it.
I tell you, a guy that I see all the way in the back, just ahead of Zach Deutscher, is the 09 of Justin Aniscock. I mentioned how confident he felt coming into tonight's race. And right now, I guess by pitting, once the top 12 had stayed out, yeah, he got caught up in that big one, and his night has ended. Looks like the 02 of Louis Zader, he is back out. As you mentioned, Tom Harmon, he's also back out in his number 68. He's got the 9, the 2, and the 8 of Tom Flitcroft all around him.
And I'll tell you what, Jimmy Cocker on 49 lap old tires along with Jones and Maggio, 74 lap old tires. Am I really reading that right, Pete? Sanford, 49 lap old tires. Brendan Book, Justin Rott, 74 lap old tires. That's crazy.
Yeah, that just goes to show you can go on up there, you can pass me, you can go ahead and push your car to the limits using up your tires. But I will, there it is. I will see you later. You will come right back to me. If you're great at saving tires like a Maggio, you're going to be able to run your way back on up. I mentioned Brendan Book. He was looking at the tail end of the top 10. Right now finds himself back in P6. Steven Maggio, who also has not yet pit. Justin Rott has not yet pit. Those guys have been able to stay inside the top 10 and are starting to work their way back up because the guys up front have really used and abused those tires, trying to get on up there, lead a lap, get a point, and now falling back.
Yeah, I gotta say that's incredible. I mean, the differences on how old the tires are, and these drivers on the oldest tires are still up here. Pretty incredible. It goes to show, like you said, how much they're saving and what they can do with that. But Jimmy Cocker still, he's got a 4-second lead over the remainder of the field. Luke Allen is going to be in second, and he's got a nice little gap behind him, and that's going to be Rivers Jones, driver spotlight tonight for Dart Motorsports. Andrew Sanford up 23 spots, sitting P4. Brennan Book 5th. Justin Rott 6th. Jarrett Cardwell up 24 spots, sitting 7th. Joseph Turley 8th. Jose Ruiz 9th. And Jonathan Jurgensmeyer out here in the top 10, and he was another driver spotlight.
Yeah, back in P16, Matt Sisler talking about drivers that are up double digits as far as progression through the field. Right now sitting P16, up 10. Brian Pizzicami, an admin for Shake Big, spent last year in the tower, helping to control the race. He's sitting P18, up 15 spots. Dylan Robb in 20th, up 10. Mike Pop Bear Campbell in 21st, up 11 spots. So there's a lot of movers and shakers. But I tell you what, right now, Jimmy Cocker in this number 11 machine, he sees the double deuce and some more lap traffic coming his way. He's got to try to hope that he's able to navigate his way through, not lose any time to this traffic. He's going to have to worry a little bit about dirty air. And Eliza, we're getting closer and closer to halfway in this 200 lap race here from the Monster Mile. Couple cautions in, but so far right now looking very, very clean and green, hoping we can keep it that way.
Joe Berg on his way down pit lane along with Philip Bridgman, a couple of takers for pit road. We're going to see who else is going to make their way on down, but so far 2 as we see Jimmy Cocker making his way around, almost just over 4.5 seconds lead over second place. So these guys doing a fantastic job. Luke Allen in second, Andrew Sanford in third. I'm curious, Jimmy Cocker, he's got a while to go on these tires compared to the remainder of them. So will we see these guys that were on 74 lap old tires? Are they going to go in shortly? I would assume so, Pete.
Yeah, I would assume so also. I mean, they can't stay out there too much longer running some of these older lap times or slower lap times, if you want to call it that. But I tell you, these FIWB guys really got season 5 in a chokehold. Like you mentioned, the 42 came in as the points leader. The 11, he's already got a win at Daytona right now, looking really, really strong here at Dover. I mean, you see Luke Allen behind, Andrew Sanford, Brendan Book. He's going to find himself back inside the top 5 right now, running P4, about 5.5 to almost 6 seconds behind our leader. The 91 of Rivers Jones, the 78 of Cardwell right now, still finding himself in 7th. So a lot of great runs at a very, very tough track. So looking forward to see who actually takes these checkers tonight. Whoever does it will absolutely earn it.
Absolutely. Ogre, I see you out there. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's great to see you. I remember. We're still out here. We're still announcing and having fun, and this is a heck of a race here at Dover Motor Speedway. Jimmy Cocker over a 5-second lead. At this point, you don't even see anyone behind him. All you see are probably drivers in front of him. So let's go ahead and change that view here. Yeah, you're going to see, it looks like it's going to be a 17th and 18th. Dylan C. Robin going to be out in front of him. It looks like he's a little slideways as he's making his way. Yeah, you can see him fishtailing through the start-finish line. Still out, but Josh Taylor, Jonathan Hernandez, Philip Bridgman, all drivers that are going to go down pit lane, get those fresh tires and more fuel.
No, Jimmy Cocker, he's pretty much got each straightaway to himself aside from these lap cars. He can't. I don't think he can stay out there too much longer, Eliza. Or he might be banking on some of these guys getting onto pit road and having some kind of an issue, bringing a caution out to where they'll come on out, but he'll have some pretty fresh tires later on. The 16 of Rob is the next to go a lap or another lap down. The 11 goes ahead and throws it low. It shouldn't be much of a competition. A little bit of a slide job up in front of the 16, and it's another one in the rear view.
You know, Jimmy Cocker has gone in a couple of times, but I don't know about his tire situation. What are we looking out there for that? So if he has taken a couple of fresh tires, we're going to see him make it for the long run, try to pull this thing out as long as he can on this run. It just depends on how many tires he's taken and how many he's got left. I mean, I think I just saw a driver hit a wall hard behind him, and I do believe that
16,
would have been,
yep.
Yeah. So a little bit of a hard hit for him back there. But yeah, I'm curious, are we going to see him just take this thing to the end on this run? We'll find out.
Well, I mean, he was last on pit road, lap 25, right along with Andrew Sanford and Luke Allen, and they're behind him. It's just he is extremely strong up and off the corner. You don't see the back end really kicking out all that much. He's way up high through the corner right there, but able to keep it off through 1 and 2, going down the backstretch now into 3 and 4. Mentioned this track very much like a roller coaster. You go down into the corner in turns 1 and 2, and then same thing in 3 and 4. You're climbing a hill, going down, climbing a hill, going down. This track can absolutely throw you back in your seat in real life. And it looks like the 11, he's got this track on lock. He's got to just hope for clean air the rest of the race. If that happens, I feel he dominates.
Couple more takers. We're going to have Micah Allard, Brennan Book, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, all on pit road. Jimmy Cocker still staying out. No surprise. I think he's just going to run this a bit longer. I mean, he's got a clear track, exactly what he wants to see. Andrew Sanford, you can see him a little bit behind here. And the caution comes out. I don't know if Jimmy wants to see that one.
No, it looks like something happened with one of our
Rivers
spotlight drivers, Rivers Jones. So, yeah, the 11 either wanted this or didn't want it to happen, but thought it might. You know, I'm not sure if this is what happened with Rivers or not, but maybe have a little bit of an issue getting onto this very tricky pit road. Some older tires, you go to hit the brakes, they lock up, spin you around, and away we go.
And that is just so brutal. He was having a great run out here. I don't know if he was on cold tires, but just unfortunate to see when that happens.
Yeah, the 91 was last on pit road. I'm trying to find him right now. Looks like he was last on pit road lap 25. So no, Rivers Jones on some older tires. Might have just been a throttle issue.
Very interesting. Who we're gonna see pit? We're gonna see, yeah, Jimmy Cocker going on pit lane, Andrew Sanford, Luke Allen, a lot of our front drivers out here going down pit lane. I don't see a lot of drivers that are currently hanging out. You see a handful of them, but most everybody going in.
Yeah, everybody gonna come on down. Everybody that I would imagine that's on the lead lap, whether you need them now or not after that nice long run right there. I believe we'll go back green lap 98, 99. So just about halfway. I'm sure everybody would have at least one more set of tires in the pits to come on down if needed to, right around lap 150, 160, and then have a great green flag stint all the way to the end. But Jimmy Cocker with a really, really nice pit time of a 14:75, able to beat the rest off pit road, and it looks like he will resume the lead.
See if we can have a chat with Jimmy Cocker. I mean, he's had a fantastic run so far. I mean, just phenomenal out there.
Yep.
Jimmy, it's Eliza. I know I just stole you in the booth. How you doing out there?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. I mean, you had a phenomenal lead. Were you looking forward to this caution, or are you just kind of hoping that it was going to stay green?
Honestly, I think we wanted that to stay green. We were going to run it pretty long, and
Yeah.
we were hopefully going to be able to get them all back on, middle of the long run. But I still think we got a good car here. I don't know how I'm still alive. I got involved in the wreck. That was, the Jimmy Johnson thing going on the front stretch. But we're still alive and fine for it.
You're still alive, and I think it's going to be hopefully another long run out here. But man, your long run seems to be going well. How is it trying to save those tires?
That's actually a really fun part of this now. They rescan the track. It's really bumpy. I've been kind of alternating between the top and the bottom, and it's kind of like what you saw in real life here. So it's pretty fun.
All right. Well, you guys heard it from Jimmy Cocker. I wish you a ton of luck moving forward out here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Having a great run. I know he was looking forward to a long run out there, Pete. Do you think we can get another one coming up here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, we're gonna go back green here, just shy of halfway. Our one and only stage is in the rear view. Jimmy Cocker, he's gonna have the 37 of Andrew Sanford behind him. Luke Allen to his outside. Jarrett Cardwell and Rivers Jones will be our top five. So I have to see how this all fires up. That fires off rather. As a control car, you go as soon as you get to that restart zone. He does just that, able to clear himself up on the high side, going into turn one. Double file behind him is what he wants to see, as he'll be able to already scoot away.
And those restarts proving to be very scary. The 7 into the wall, down into the 37 and back again, but a lot of checking up on those restarts, really backing everyone up, but that is helping that 11 car as he is the control car for these restarts. The 37 not too far behind, but that's exactly what he wants to see, and for some reason, I'm showing him on pit lane, even though we see otherwise.
Yeah, definitely not. 37 looks like he's able to clear Rivers Jones. Rivers Jones has Luke Allen right with him. It looks like Jarrett Cardwell up on the high side as Matt Sisler in that number 45 Toyota takes P5 for himself. Look at P7 up 17. We talked about him earlier. Jose Ruiz slowly but surely working his way towards the front. Could be a great night for driver 23.
Lap 100 of 200. Still a lot of racing left, but you can see these FTR teammates right side by side. Connor Cunningham in that 3 machine that is not for position, if I'm not mistaken, or is it? He's going to be an 11, so a nice comeback for him. Brendan Book is going to be in 12th. Joe Berg in 13th. Micah Allard. Tom Flitcroft. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he's making his way on pit lane, Pete.
Yeah, talk about Cunningham and Book and all those. Those are all cars one lap down. So right now, just the top 10 are on the lead lap. That's what that long caution did to everybody that had, or I'm sorry, that's what that caution did to everybody that had already gone down pit road and lost a lap to the 11 with that very, very strong pace that he had even so late into the run. So Connor Cunningham, he got a lap back earlier under green. He needs another one if he's going to go ahead and try to get back into contention for this race. But right now, the top 10 very spaced out going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with some of these drivers. Rivers Jones is on pit lane, so kind of curious what happened with him. But Jimmy Cocker making his way on by. That's going to put him a lap down, so our top 9 drivers only are on the lead lap. Andrew Sanford second, Matt Sisler in third, Luke Allen fourth, Jarrett Cardwell in fifth, Jose Ruiz in sixth. Dylan, he's up here in 7th. A great comeback for him. Brian Pizzakimi up 25 spots, P8. And Joseph Turley 9th, Connor Cunningham in 10th. And most of these drivers up double digits here in the top 10.
Absolutely. Micah Allard right behind Brendan Book. Brendan Book, very, very strong in practice and in qualifying. That caution did catch him a lap down as well, sitting P11. Joe Berg in that number 93, sitting P13, up 2 from Q. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in that 00 Chevrolet, P14. P15, the one and only John Hernandez in that number 1 Chevy, also with Austin Mitty up 2 spots behind him in 16th. Justin Raw in 17th, down 13, but up 7 in P18 is going to be Kevin Dallator. Rivers Jones and Josh Taylor right now round out the top 20. Mike Papa Bear Campbell 21st, again up 11 spots in his number 71 Ford.
Flitcroft, who we saw go into pit lane, he's 22nd with Francis Hamilton, who always has so much speed. He just ran into trouble early on in the race. He is currently sitting 23rd. Jordan McGraw in 24th. Matthew Gale 25th. Philip Bridgman 26th. Brody Folliker, our leader for the point standings, he's out here in 27th with Steven Maggio in 28th, and it looks like he is retired for the session, unfortunately.
Yeah, John Honeycutt right now 28th in his Team FDR number 50. Had a lot of strong hopes for him, but caught up very, very early. Tom Harmon in 30th. Lewis Zader, Justin Aniscock, Zach Deutscher. Looks like the only one unable to take the green is going to be Jai Baxter, would have been 34th on the grid this evening.
Jimmy Cocker still in that lead. Man, I don't know what he's got in this machine, but he said it feels good. It's a lot of fun out here. And he was loving that long run, hoping to get another one. He did win a race this season, and it was at Daytona. It was his second win for the Daytona season opener, so he's already locked into the chase. I know he wants to see that, and he wants to grab another one. That might, if he does that tonight, Pete, that will be his first repeat winner in a season, I do believe.
I think you may be right. We'll have to look possibly back at about season 2, maybe. But yeah, I tell you, it might be just the tracks that start with D for Jimmy Cocker. Very, very good at Daytona. Won the inaugural race for season 1 at Daytona in his Virginia Tech colors. Brought those colors back this season and was able to grab the checkers yet again. Tonight, it has been Jimmy Cocker up front for several laps. He said he didn't want to see that caution come out, but doing very, very well. So it seems like he's not only able to handle this number 11 machine under some old tires, but under some freshies, he's able to press away also.
Going through a bit of traffic. He's got some clear track now to go through, but man, take a look at these drivers as they are going through that backstretch. A lot of cars going single file line, but Jimmy Cocker looking very comfortable in that lead spot, but not too far behind is going to be Andrew Sanford. He has closed that gap. He's taken it down low while Jimmy is going to stay up high. These guys are really switching their line as Jimmy is going to diamond that track and Andrew going to stay down low. We'll see how that plays out in the future few laps here.
Yeah, 37 kind of switches it up. He was down low last corner. This time he was a little bit higher than the 11. So we'll have to see. Nope, the 11, he's going to go ahead and take it low in this corner, and the 37 is going to go up high. So it's kind of doing the opposite of what they were doing. But how about Matt Sisler right now in P3? Up 23 spots in his number 45. The guy goes to Twitter after each race talking about what he could have done a little bit better, how he feels about the race. And I tell you, this 45 machine, if he's able to press a little bit more, his lap times are not too far off the leaders. Leaders' last lap was a 24:01. His was a 46. But when we're talking best laps, he's got the speed. Jimmy Cocker's was a 23:04. His was a 23:15, right with Andrew Sanford. So the top three right now, very, very equal.
Definitely on equal footing here. Lap 117 of 200. We are clicking the laps away out here. Luke Allen having a great run. Almost some contact between the 7 and the 12 as they're making their way down the backstretch here at Dover Motor Speedway. But man, what a race so far. I mean, this is a track that can be quite disastrous, Pete. And I think these guys have been able to tame the monster a little bit more than they were thinking, which is always good news. It's been a pretty clean several races out here. Next week, though, I don't know if you guys know, but we're going to be headed to the All-Star race. It's going to be at Texas, the Legacy track. So a lot of excitement. These guys are so excited. Drivers who are locked in are drivers who have won this season or last season. We're going to have playoff drivers. And of course, we're going to have to race in to get a couple of drivers out there and our fan vote. So look forward on Twitter to see a lot of news coming out about that in the next few days.
Yeah, fan vote is always interesting. You start to be lobbied by every single driver in the field. Says, hey, vote for me. Hey, vote for me. Hey, remember when I did this? Vote for me. Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Definitely more of a fan of the Legacy Texas track than I am of the new version. So I'm glad that we're going back to the Lone Star State under the older version of that track. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun, a lot more banking, different way for these cars to handle. Cannot wait to get there, see who makes it and who's on the outside looking in. But either way, it's going to be a phenomenal time.
Absolutely. We're on our way to lap 122 of 200, and let's bring out Izzy and Jay Soap Company. If you guys have not checked them out, again, they make the natural handmade soaps, beard balms, and tattoo butter. So just take a look out there. If you have skin issues or you're just looking for something more natural and gentle, take a look. They have some phenomenal products that you can absolutely take advantage of. You can visit them on their website at izzyandjsoap.com.
Yeah, again, personal note, we actually did place an order through there. Got some of the body butter. We got, I think it was the charcoal and peppermint soap, as well as a couple other things. Put some the tattoo cream on my wife's tattoo that she got on her back. Absolutely great products. They smell really, really good. Yeah, I love the product.
Have to check them out. I want to get some of that peppermint, so I might
Yeah, it's really
have
good.
to order some very shortly.
Smells
here.
amazing.
Yeah.
As soon as we open the box, and the scent hit you, oh man, loved it.
Yeah, I love anything smelly like that, like smells good, so I'm all about it. Absolutely. All right, Sober David, I see out there, says vote for me. I don't even race here, but vote for me.
Why not? Everybody loves a sober driver.
Right? Jimmy Cocker still out here in the lead. We're going to have Andrew Sanford not too far behind him. You see him right there. Let's go in a different camera angle for him. You can see he's got Rivers Jones in front of our leader out there. Not a great night for him. He was one of our driver spotlights. Ran into some trouble in one of the cautions, but Andrew Sanford, you can see just enjoying that clean air currently, trying to keep up with that leader, but a phenomenal run for Andrew Sanford, who has gained 25 spots. And I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there.
Hey, Tig, how are you?
Hey, okay.
Welcome aboard. All right, so Matt Sisler continuing to plug away. He's got the 5 of Brendan Book right up his trumpet, but that is not a battle for position. Brendan Book right now showing to be P10. Connor Cunningham right now is the free pass car if we should happen to get a yellow. But I mean, he showed to be very fast earlier. Right now, sitting in front of that 45. So Sisler gonna maybe pull low, allow Brendan Book maybe get a little bit of momentum. Doesn't want him up his backside, up off the corner going down the backstretch. Brendan Book now gonna try low.
Yeah, you can see these guys going too wide currently, so it's a lot of racing. Man, that looked a little close. The 45 going to dive it down low with the net code that's been going on in these cars. I mean, it's just a chance that you're going to take that these guys really starting to spread out. Not a piece of the track that is really empty except for currently the front stretch between 26 and 27th. But Jimmy Cocker, he's got 21st right in front of him. That's going to be Kevin Dalator. We'll see him make his way on through. But man, this track is very crowded. The 92 going to let the 11, our current leader, right on by.
Yeah, great job by Kevin to move up and out of the way, giving the racing groove to the 11 of Cocker. Although we've seen him up there, looks like for now he looks pretty content in running the low line in both ends of the track as he came across the start stripe there. 69 laps remaining here from Dover Motor Speedway. Again, if you have all just joined out there in the land of Twitch or YouTube, this is the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series live from Dover Motor Speedway. Miles the Monster has been hungry a couple times, but it looks like right now his hunger has been taken care of. We're on a decent second pretty long green flag run. Glad you're out there.
Knock on wood for this long green flag run, but we're going through the roster here. The Jarrett Cardwell in that 12 machine up to P4. He's got Jose Ruiz right behind him in 5th. Luke Allen in that 7 machine currently sitting 6th. And like I said, most of these drivers in the top 10 are up double digits from where they started, which is absolutely crazy for Dover. I mean, it's a wild track. Very loose coming out of the exits, and we've seen drivers on the restarts just absolute chaos. But these guys still moving. It is only the top 9 drivers that are on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, talking about double digits. Andrew Sanford, Matt Sisler, Jarrett Cardwell, Jose Ruiz, Luke Allen, Dylan Robb, Brian Pizzakemi, and Connor Cunningham. They're all high teen digits. You have to go a little bit further back in the running order to about P20 to where you find another double-digit improver, and that is those 71 Ford Mike Pop Bear Campbell. So good run by him as well. But yeah, there's a lot of movers inside that top 10 that have really made Dover their home this evening. They put in the time, they put in the practice, they got some good feeling cars and have been able to progress.
Our last stint was around 70 laps. This one so far, we're coming up on 40 lap old tires so far in this next run. And it is for at least the top 8. Jimmy Cocker just doing a phenomenal job out here. He loves the long run, said it is extremely fun to drive, a lot like real life. And the tires, he's just doing a great job saving them out there. A little over a second lead over P2, even though it still says Jimmy Cocker is in pit lane. He must be just confusing the overlay because he is just so fast tonight. But Andrew Sanford, a phenomenal run for him tonight in that 37. Matt Sisler, again, Repeat has talked about how he has gone to Twitter and talked about his runs. And hasn't been excited about some of them. Tonight, if he can keep this, I think he's going to be very, very satisfied.
Yeah, the pace that Jimmy Cocker has, he's actually outrunning our overlay program. How about that? Jarrett Cardwell, again, you mentioned it before, up 27 spots. Whole lot of clean track. Really loves that high line, kind of riding along in the cockpit with him. As you mentioned, with Jose Ruiz right behind. These guys running different parts of the track to avoid that dirty air that we talked about. The 12 up high, the 23 down low. Luke Allen in the 7. He's a little bit further back behind these guys, so he's not quite part of the battle, but still solidly inside the top 10. And Eliza, as I ride along with that number 7 machine, I'm hearing him cut it off. Are we possibly looking at maybe a fuel mileage issue with those that may try to take this all the way? I hope I just didn't ruin it for driver 7.
Ah, man, you know, that was an interesting drive around that corner, too. You can see him, like you said, cutting off, but really, really moving up that track. I don't know how much those tires are going to like that. You can hear him squealing, which is not a good sign, but yeah, with just 61 laps left to go, I'm kind of curious, are some of these drivers within that reach to make it on fuel? Tire-wise might be an issue, and the way he's moving up there, it's making me a little nervous. Let's check out to see what some of these other drivers are doing. We're on board with our leader, Jimmy Cocker. He has not cut off the engine just yet, but take a look at that wheel. That center piece is all the way over to the left. Really having to crank it over there to try to get that thing to turn.
Yeah, but on the exit, you can see that he's already back at 12 o'clock. So that tells me that on exit, he really is riding more off of the right rear. Is he able to turn almost back to it off of 1 and 2 as another lap down car. It looks like that was going to be his teammate, Brody Falker, into 42, getting down low onto the apron and out of the racing group, allowing his teammate to fly right on by.
Brody Falker directly going into pit lane along with the other couple of takers. Man, I'm kind of curious. What is our leader going to do? Do we have any other drivers that are onto this strategy, or is it just going to be a Luke Allen just trying to take hold of this and hope that his lap times can maintain his position or make it better? We'll see what happens, but Jimmy Cocker still a little over a 1.5 lead over second of Andrew Sanford, but I am so impressed with the run that Andrew Sanford is having tonight. He's doing a great job, and I really hope to see him. Take a look. Repeat, I don't know if you see that, but what is going on with his helmet? I don't know. It looks like a big smiley face. I don't know. That's pretty wild, though.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, I tell you, not only are they very, very creative with their paint schemes, but very creative with their driver suits, the helmets, and whatnot. I got another buddy of mine that has his painted like a smiling Dale Earnhardt. You look back at him, and all you see is Senior with his big old grin on his face.
Oh, that is wild.
They get so creative, and these painters do a phenomenal job with these cars, the driver suits, the helmets, and everything else that you can creatively get your hands on. So not only do they have the skill to be able to wheel these things around some very, very technical tracks here on iRacing, but a lot of them very talented with digital brush as well.
Ryan Pizzikemi has got a couple of drivers around him. In front of him is going to be the 00 of Jurgensmeyer, but that is not going to be for position. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is in 12th. Brian is in 8th, up 25 spots. Meanwhile, behind him, he does have, I do believe that is Justin Rott in that 76 machine. Another one that is not for position. So these drivers are really mixed up in where they are at on the track.
Yeah, again, Brendan Book, by virtue of the 3 of Connor Cunningham going down pit road, has picked up the first car 1 lap down position, sitting in P10. Allard's going to be right behind him. So if you look at Micah Allard, he is, I'm looking for him right now. Micah Allard sitting P11. He's by himself in his number 61. Nobody really around him. So this is his time to where he can really just worry about racing the track. He's not around Brendan Book, so Brendan Book doesn't have that applied pressure either. So he can just also just worry about racing the track as we come to 50 to go.
Yeah, I know a lot of these drivers, especially the ones that are just a lap down, are really hoping for a caution here, but I don't know. We'll see once we start getting those guys going in pit lane. Once they come out, will it mix things up? We're going to be on cold tires once again. We'll see if they can hold on to it, but Jimmy Cocker still out there. I know it still says he's in pit lane. I've tried to refresh it with no help here, but second, Andrew Sanford has gone into pit lane. We're going to see him falling As he enters pit road, Matt Sisler is going to be out there in second, just under 5 seconds behind our leader.
Yeah, I'd love to see this go green, not to have a caution, be an issue with those that are going down pit road, like what trapped, Brendan Book and Micah Allard and so many other great drivers in this series. So I'd love to see this go green. Jimmy Cochran very, very fast on new tires. We saw him very, very fast on old tires as well. He wanted to see it go long and green earlier. Well, we'll see if he gets his wish this time around. Again, now 47 laps to go, coming to 46 next time by. 37 is off pit road and getting back up to speed.
Gonna make his way out on track, sitting 15th, still up 12 spots. So just with that, it's going to be great news for him. But man, he's going to have a lot faster lap times than the drivers ahead of him. So we'll see him make up some spots. But once you go in, it's tough because he's already 2 laps down. Tough to see. He's going to have to hope that these drivers in front of him go in. And I have to say, I think that they're going to, Pete. I can't imagine them staying out for this many laps. We've already seen them out here for 58 laps. I'm not sure if we can see it for almost 100.
No, I don't think so either. And I think that Jimmy Cochran right now really has to worry about Andrew Sanford. He was able to keep up for the most part with the pace that the 11 had. Wasn't able to really gain on it, but he wasn't losing much either. So now Jimmy Cochran has to have in the back of his mind, Sanford, who was running P2, was also pretty quick, is now out there on 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, and he's going to be running faster times than the 11. So he's going to want to come on down pit road, grab those tires, and get back out there as quickly as possible, not to lose too much time to a guy that was able to almost mirror his times.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how long he stays out here, but if he stays out a little bit longer, he can absolutely, here comes our leader, Jimmy Cocker, down pit lane. We'll see. This is where we're going to find out if these guys are going to start to follow, but Thomas Harmon, you can see him in pit lane directly in front of him. I think we're going to see a lot of takers for pit lane now, Pete.
Yeah, so do I. The 11, like you said, on pit road, going to grab his final 4 unless we happen to have another caution a little bit later on. But as I look at the track map, Eliza, there are cars all over this track, very, very spread out. So everybody right now, for the most part, just having to race the track. There's a couple here and there that are, 2x2, but not very many. And it looks like the 45 of Matt Sisler also came to his pit stall, right along with Austin Mitty in that number 9.
Yeah, Jose Ruiz is going to take over that lead. Let's take a look at how old his tires are. 62 lap old tires. We're going to have Jarrett Cardwell in second, Luke Allen in third, Brian Pizzakimi fourth, Dylan Robb in fifth, Joseph Turley sixth, Brennan Book seventh, Micah Allard in eighth, and all these guys at least 62 lap old tires.
Yeah, behind Micah Allard, you got Jonathan Jurgensmeyer moving him up to P9, and that's the other thing. These guys that are all now going past the leaders that had them a lap down earlier, now they're really hoping that a caution comes out. They're back on the lead lap. They'll still have to pit, but they won't lose another lap as they go down pit road. So the fight that Brendan Book had earlier, now Micah Allard has moved himself up to the free pass car. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer right behind him. Sanford and Cocker, our leader, now 1 lap down, P4 when it comes to being the free pass car. So he does not want to see a yellow, while some others do.
Jose Ruiz makes his way on down pit lane. Jarrett Cardwell will take over that lead, and it's not the first time we've seen him in the lead here tonight. So gonna grab some nice bonus points. Dylan Robb, he has made his way down pit lane. Luke Allen gonna be in second. Joseph Turley gonna come up to P3. Brendan Book gonna move up to P4. And Jimmy Cocker, he's out here on track. He's currently 10th with Andrew Sanford a little bit ahead of him, sitting P7.
Yeah, that gap between Sanford and Cocker. We'll have to see exactly how that is once they get back on the lead lap. Once Cardwell, Allen, Turley, and Brendan Book go on down pit road. Brendan Book was last on pit road lap 91. The three ahead of him were last on pit road lap 95. So they're going to all pit right around each other, maybe separated by a few laps. But again, those guys are hoping for a caution.
Yeah, he's got I'm on board with Jimmy Cocker, and you can see he's got a lot of cars ahead of him, but about 4 cars ahead is going to be for Andrew Sanford, who is 4th position, but there are quite a few cars between them. The 71 of Mike Papa Bear Campbell, 8 of Tom Flitcroft, and a few others, and then he's going to make his way up to Andrew Sanford, and he is making quick work of these drivers. Take a look. Meanwhile, Andrew Sanford is struggling, trying to get around him, and Jimmy Cocker just closing that gap quickly.
Yeah, Jimmy Cocker, I mean, on the straightaways, he is just flying, getting great exit speed, catching up to the back end of that 37. 37 finds a hole up high and then tries to dive it down low again, but that 11 just looks like he's on rails, absolutely catching up to slower traffic. Double O really having to make him check up, getting back up closer and closer. Next car is going to be the 7, Luke Allen.
Look at him right here. Let's bring it up to the blimp cam. You can just see the difference. We're going to have Andrew Sanford making his way past that yellow machine, and Jimmy Cocker is going to have to drive it down low, perhaps, trying to make his way around. But these guys just taking it wherever they can. Jimmy Cocker not too far behind these guys, gaining positions. Andrew Sanford up to 5th. Micah Aller going to separate the two now. He's in 6th. Jimmy Cocker in 7th. So a couple of more cars in play here, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jimmy Cocker actually just got back on by the 12 of Jarrett Cardwell. So again, Cardwell, Allen, Turley, and Book last on pit road in the mid-90s. And all those other guys able to get on by. That puts a few more back on the lead lap. Right now we're talking about up to P6. So Cardwell, Allen, Turley, Book, Sanford, and Cocker able to now battle out for the lead. But, I mean, Luke Allen, he is almost 3 seconds behind Cardwell. Turley is 18-plus seconds behind P1. Brendan Book, almost 21 seconds. Andrew Sanford, almost 22 seconds. And the same thing with Jimmy Cocker. So, I tell you, I highly doubt the 12 is going to be able to stay out there. But all these guys that are on those Eagle Feel Goods, on those fresher tires, they're going to be running them down really quick.
Absolutely. Jimmy Cocker nowhere to go, and the 5 car going to bring it up high, but the 37 and the 11 going side by side, and now 11's going to have to tuck it back behind that 37 as he's trying to make his way around. So a lot of traffic for these drivers as they're coming down to the final 30 or so laps. Still quite a few left, but Jimmy Cocker, he's got to try to get around that 37. The 37 is saying, hey, I'm trying to keep this spot. Meanwhile, Jarrett Cardwell is up here in the lead, almost 3.5 seconds over Luke Allen, who is having a fantastic race, P2 currently. Joseph Turley 3rd, Andrew Sanford is going to be 4th. So these drivers who have made their way in, they've come out in a really good spot and some fresh tires.
I tell you what, Andrew Sanford has made the back end of his machine very, very wide at times, so much so getting a little loose at times. The 11 has tried to find alternate lines, either up high or down low, and the 37 has just been able to seal the gap each and every time as they go on by the 13. Andrew Sanford doing everything that he's got to do to keep the 11 behind in that dirty air, trying to keep that gap. Him going on down pit road a few laps early, I mean, the 11 has just killed that deficit as it now looks like he's going to be able to get on by on the bottom side.
Yeah, the 37, he has given up that spot. The 11 is on his way by, sitting P3rd currently. Jarrett Cardwell, the tires super old. I know he wants to hang on to it, but I'm not sure how much he can. Jimmy Cocker is 16 seconds behind our leader. Only the top 5 drivers are on the current lead lap. So Man, a lot of variation out here, but Jarrett Cardwell in our second place is on almost 80 lap old tires. I can't imagine they're going to stay there, but 61 cutting it really close with that 11 machine. I know it's going to be very tight racing, but these guys, different strategies, different tire wear, that could breed chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the 61 of Mike Aller get on by the 11. Now the 45 of Matt Sisler got on by the leader, putting him gaining a lap back. Now you see several others pulling up to the backside as well. Luke Allen a little bit further back in that 7. Looks like now under 2 seconds, where he was 2 seconds or above. 48 is going to try to get on by on the high side. So some fresh tires for driver 48. Of course, talking about Francis Hamilton, who's back in P23. So these
Man, the battle, this lead, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, Jarrett Cardwell is just stuck in these lap cars. He just has such old tires. I mean, he was just getting swarmed by guys on fresh tires and just absolutely slideways through. I thought for sure we were going to see death.
Yeah, I actually just saw him tag the wall, got very, very loose. He does not like the traffic. It seems like the handling of that number 12 Matco machine is, again, trying to save it. You just see his hand sawing that wheel, trying to keep it on the straight and narrow. I imagine we're going to see the 12 on pit road very, very soon, as the 34 of Jordan McGraw will be the next one to take a spot back.
I don't know how much longer he can stay out there with that, and I'm sure the dirty air is not helping as he is kissing that wall on his way through. But Luke Allen currently in the lead, just over a second ahead of Jarrett Cardwell, who is just really struggling with that handling now. He's going to have to go in. 23 to go, the 00. It looks like he's going to make his way in to pit lane. We'll see him. Jimmy Cocker has closed that gap from 16 seconds to 6.5, just under. So he moves up to P2 as Jarrett Cardwell. He's into pit lane.
Yeah, Jarrett Cardwell, I think he wanted to go down pit road last time, but he had a car underneath that was prohibiting him from doing just that. Gets into his pit stall safely. Looks like he got down to pit road speed on time. Hopefully no penalties for him. Very, very fast car this evening. It'll be interesting to see where he comes on back out and how he gets back in the fight. But yeah, Luke Allen in that number 7 Chevrolet, up 22 spots to the lead. The last time he was on pit road, the same as the 12, lap 95. I imagine he'll be down pretty soon with 20 laps to go next time.
Very crowded track around our current leader. You can just see cars everywhere. We are 3 wide. I had so many different positions. 61 just absolutely flying by everyone on those fresh tires. And this is where you have to communicate with your competitors. You just say, hey, I'm coming through. And that 61 just all over the place. Really aggressive, trying to make his way through, make up some spots. He currently sits P11, but man, it is very sketchy out there currently.
Yeah, the 7 is the first one we came across earlier that was saving some fuel. Is it possible that he's saving some fuel, shutting it off? You did hear him sliding his tires a little bit. Is he trying to? Was he big picture racing? Is he going to try to make it the rest of the way? I think he might have been crunching the numbers. I'm not quite sure if he's actually got a live spotter or not that said, hey, you can do this, just got to save fuel. We'll have to see. Man, that 7, could he pull off an Austin Dillon surprise like what he did for the Coke 600 several years back when he took the win from the one and only Kyle Busch?
Yeah, he's still cutting that engine. I don't know that he's going to be able to keep this lead. That gap is quickly closing. Jimmy Cocker closing that as he's got that fresh tires. He's got the fuel he needs. So Luke Allen, it's definitely not going to be his race to win tonight unless something crazy happens. And you guys know anything can happen. I mean, it is Dover after all. But Jimmy Cocker quickly making his way up to the back bumper of Luke Allen, getting ready to take over that lead as Luke is still cutting out that engine.
Yeah, Luke Allen down low. He's going to wash up just a little bit. But yeah, here comes the 11 of Jimmy Cocker. You're going to go ahead and retake the lead. No challenge there whatsoever. Now, Luke Allen just hoping for a podium finish or maybe a caution to come out right now. to where he'll be able to go on down pit road and still be able to stay inside the top 10. Because right now only up to P8, talking about Dylan Robb, is on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's wild. Only 8 drivers on the lead lap, and it ends with Dylan C. Robb. So Micah Allard is going to be the first driver a lap down. I know he would love to see a caution, but I can assure you the top 8 do not want to see a caution. I'm kind of curious with Luke Allen, how would he feel about it? But one driver who definitely does not is going to be Jimmy Cocker, who is almost 2.5 seconds in the lead over Luke Allen and Andrew Sanford, who has had a fantastic drive out here tonight. He's in another bit of traffic. He currently sits P3.
Yeah, big battle back here between the 5, the 61, and the 12 of Jarrett Cardwell. The 5 was just able to get on by the 61. Jarrett Cardwell kind of got stuck in some dirty air behind the 48, but he does have the freshest tires. Cautions on track.
Oh, look, it's showing that that 8 car involved. Let's see if we can find out what exactly happened out here. The 8 just making his way on track and just absolutely just breaks loose and heads into the outside wall down to the inside. Man, that is absolutely wild. I don't know what happened with him there, but definitely broke loose.
Yeah, broke loose, and it just sent him straight up track. Good thing, again, this self-cleaning track got him back on down to the apron, or out of harm's way of everybody else that was going on by. One person that this caution absolutely serves. Very, very fast in practice, very fast in qualifying. The number 5 of Brendan Book. He's going to restart number 9. Talking about that Cincinnati Reds machine, Brendan Book. We'll have to see how this works out for him.
There he goes, making his way back around, trying to get that lap back. A few drivers pit. The top 8 did make their way on in. They're going to get those fresh tires. I don't know if they need any fuel, but here comes our once leader, Jimmy Cocker. Looks like he's going to keep that lead. Luke Allen going to come out second. Andrew Sanford third. Matt Sisler in fourth. Jose Ruiz fifth. Brian Pizzikemi in sixth. Dylan C. Robb making his way on out. So, man, this is going to shake things up. 12 to go. Our 5th caution of the night, Pete. What do you think's going to happen here? Who are we going to see win?
Term elbows up.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that, I mentioned earlier that the 37 who's making his back bumper really, really wide. I imagine that the 11's going to be doing that. Luke Allen in that number 7 machine finds himself 21 spots up to P2. He's going to restart on the outside, depending on which line Jimmy Cocker chooses for this restart. Andrew Sanford, he absolutely wanted this caution. He finds himself P3. Matt Sisler 4th. And Jose Ruiz, as you just mentioned, the guy said earlier, you can never, ever give up on. If he finds his way to the front, you can count on him putting on or getting the best possible finish for himself and Team FTR. And he's going to restart on the bottom side, right where our control car, Jimmy Cocker, will start the race back up.
Absolutely, man. This is really going to shake things up. And I know these restarts have been a little sketchy, Pete. We've seen drivers, it looks like a wrong gear restart, a lot of checking up. This could mean trouble. And we've seen a caution where we had probably, I want to say at least 7 to 10 cars involved. We could, in fact, see something else similar happen in these final laps. I'm hoping not. I want to see it go green. But, yeah, we have some drivers that are really, really hoping to get something going here as we're going back to green and take a look at that long line.
Yeah, we're going to fire it off. 10-lap shootout here at the Monster Mile. 10 laps to go as we get back going green. The 11 fires off. Let's go.
5 car into the wall. Drivers already losing it. Not sure what exactly happened. But, man, trouble already. I don't know. These restarts just... that's where the chaos is going on here.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a first gear restart gone wrong or something like that. Obviously, from up here, can't exactly tell, but very, very unfortunate for Brendan Book. Going to lose a couple more spots, as it will put one other car back on the lead lap. And if I'm not mistaken, that was going to be Micah Allard with this caution.
See what happens here, but man, it's not showing me much. But yeah, it's going to be another shot for these guys to get it moving. But I guarantee these top drivers are getting a little antsy. They just want to see this go green the remainder of the laps. Only 9 to go. So as you said, elbows are out, and these guys going to get super aggressive.
I tell you what, one guy that doesn't mind these cautions is our leader, Jimmy Cocker. He's perfectly good to go to the third green-white checker if we have to, in order to make sure that he stays right where he is. And yeah, Micah Allard is going to pull to the outside of driver 11 to get ready to get his lap back and hopefully grab a better finish than what he was going to be relegated to before this caution came out. 7:37. 45 and 23, our top 5. Jimmy Cocker, Luke Allen, Andrew Sanford, Matt Sisler, and the one and only Jose Ruiz.
Still a lot of drivers going in a pit lane. We see quite a few of them, but our top 8 drivers, they have stayed out, and these are the drivers that are on the lead lap, I do believe. So very interesting call for the remainder of to go in. Just if you're down a lap, it's not going to put you out anymore, so why not?
Why not? Yeah, so if you're Jimmy Cocker, inside your mind, you're thinking, I just need to hit 16 or what is it, 24 more corners. All I need is 24 more solid corners. Don't need anybody up my trumpet. I just want to be able to run 8 more qualifying laps. Pull away, keep everybody behind, go for win number 2 on the season. It's probably easier said than done, because usually when you're the leader, you think, okay, what's going to go wrong?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've already seen another caution come out. Luckily, it wasn't in the front, but it's another chance for him to make a mistake. He knows he has to be perfect. He has to nail this restart. He's going to hope that the drivers behind him do not get a good restart. He wants it to stay green. He's been great on the long run, but this is definitely not a thing he wants to see. Did not want this caution out, but him being in control of the restart is definitely going to help him out, and as long as he can get that, I think he's good to go. He just got to keep that car underneath him.
Eliza, are you surprised by his choice for the bottom side versus the high side, where a lot of momentum can really carry you up and off the corner? He left the outside to the 7 of Luke Allen. Luke Allen has shown to be very, very fast. Or is Jimmy Cocker just hoping that the control car benefit by being the first on the throttle is going to propel him immediately to the lead?
Yeah, I think him being the first on the throttle is just going to allow him to take whatever line he wants to take. And as long as he can do that, he's going to be good to go. The 7 very well could time it right and see when he goes and be fast on the throttle, but it's going to take a lot, and Luke Allen has to be on it, but he's got other cars behind him to battle it out for.
All right, coming back green again. 24 more corners is what the 11 needs. Hard on the throttle. 7 looks like he kind of darted out towards the wall. Maybe got a little bit of wheel spin. Matt Sisler back there. He's going to drop back to about P6. Andrew Sanford in that 37 up to P2. Jose Ruiz, he's going to move up to P3. Dylan Robb back to P4. Luke Allen again, Matt Sisler, Joe Berg, Brian Pizzakemi, Brendan Book, and Jared Cardwell. The top 10 as the 11 trying to scoot away. 5 to go.
Yeah, trouble for Brody Follicker. He saved it, so no caution, but not what he wants to see. He's just had a really tough race tonight as he sits P25th. He makes his way back out on track, but it's just a tough night for our points leader. But Jimmy Cocker loves what he sees. He's got this nice lead. Andrew Sanford with a nice run on this restart. But Luke Allen, not a great start as he fell back and still going through the field.
Radio sound bad out there?
And going through the field, going to show as caution again is going to fly. Luke Allen showing that he's not giving up whatsoever. Just went shake a big purple on that last lap, posting the fastest time so far with 22:42.
Joseph Turley looks like he was hard into the wall. Let's take it back a little bit and see what we saw here. Just hard into the wall, nowhere to go for the remainder of these drivers. Gets loose as he's even coming off the 76, nowhere to go. The 61 involved. Just a frustrating night for a lot of drivers.
Yeah, poor Mike Allard, gets back on the lead lap and gets caught up in something not of his doing. He tried to whoa and slow it up. 13 just came on down and shut that hole. Nowhere for Micah to go.
Oh, man. Last season, 10 cautions for Dover. I thought for sure the way this was going is we were going to be way underneath that. We had, 4 cautions and just a great green flag runs. And this final part is just proving these restarts can just be absolutely chaotic. And we know that we were going to see some drivers hit that outside wall, and we've seen it a few times tonight. And this caution, no different.
No different whatsoever. We talked about it. The green-white checkers. This time he's going to have the 37 of Andrew Sanford to the outside. Jose Ruiz, he's got the best view of the start, restarting in P3 behind our leader, Jimmy Cocker. Dylan Robb going to line up behind the 37, and then Luke Allen in that 7. He's going to go from being the runner-up, being the outside car on the last restart to P5 with Matt Sisler in that 45 to his outside. Again, great run by Matt Sisler this evening from Dover.
Gonna be some very frustrated drivers after tonight. We have Mike Allard on pit lane, Justin Rott, Jordan McGraw, Francis Hamilton, Tom Flitcroft, who we saw lose it earlier on in the race. So a few drivers still out there on pit lane, but with 3 to go, we still have to bring these drivers home, and a driver will be a winner and hopefully punch his ticket into the chase. And I know that 11 car is just anxious to bring it home in victory lane, along with that 37, hopefully to take it over, and see what happens, Pete.
Oh, look at this change of heart. Takes the outside. He wants that high side momentum. He wants to be able to stay in the throttle all the way through the corner on this next restart. It's going to be the first attempt at a green-white checker. Again, 11 chooses the outside, 37 to the inside. That's going to put the 16 behind Jimmy Cocker and the 23 behind the 37. So a little bit of a switch up here. I'll have to see how this serves the 11 and see how the 37 is able to wrap the bottom.
Guys coming around the backstretch here, getting ready to go back to green, hopefully for the final time. I want to see these guys battle it out and bring someone home. But that 37, he's going to be on top of it. These restarts are notorious for not going well. Can we see it go green this time? Man, different zones for these guys getting on the throttle. Let's see what happens here.
And Pace Truck pulls off the track for possibly the last time this evening. 11 trying to judge his restart just right as soon as he gets into the Izzy and Jay's Soap.com restart zone. Let's go.
Here we go. That 11 car, nice restart, but so did the 37, and that 23 is all over the back of him, trying to push him up there, but I'm not sure what they can do with the great restart that the 11 had. 2 to go, and we're coming up to the final flag, the white flag here. We'll see if we can't keep it green before then. Here we come. The 2 is going to be Andrew Sanford, Jimmy Cocker in the lead coming to the final lap.
That's all checkers and wreckers from here. The 11, just a couple more turns. Saw him really throw it on down to the inside of the track. Coming up off turn number 4, Jimmy Cocker wins at Dover.
Here he comes around the final corner. He hasn't won yet, but here he goes. He's going to hold on to it, and he does, in fact, win here at Dover. Andrew Sanford. Man, I guarantee another couple laps he was going to try to make a move, but he's going to bring it home second. Dylan is going to grab a third, a fantastic run for him. Matt Sisler going to be in 4th. Jose Ruiz in 5th, a great finish for him. Luke Allen 6th. Joe Berg 7th. Brian Pizzakimi 8th. Brendan Book 9th. And Micah is going to round out your top 10 here.
Yeah, Jared Cardwell, great run for driver 12 this evening. In 11th, Austin Mitty, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, John Hernandez, Joe Turley, Rivers Jones, Justin Rott, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, Kevin Dallator, and Jordan McGraw for our top 20. As the 11 gets congratulations from all of his teammates. Burn them down, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're going to watch Jimmy burn it down here. Just incredible race all around. Just a really strong car from Jimmy Cocker out there. He's got some teammates that just had a phenomenal race too. So a great night for FIWB. Man, caution-wise, these guys just, when they had the long runs, Pete, they had some fantastic long runs. Just a great race overall.
Yeah, that you could really show those that were able to control or manage their tires, at times control their fuel usage and everything else that it takes to win a race. In the end, it's FIWB driver 11, Jimmy Cocker, getting it done for his second win of the season. Again, Eliza, might just be those tracks with the D's.
Yeah, I'm telling you, second win of the season. A lot of smoke pouring out of that car as he's celebrating with his teammate. And
Not good smoke.
it doesn't look like it's good. I just heard a
Shit
pop.
goes, we can't go to victory lane.
I'm gonna push. If I can, I think I might be stuck, chat.
Oh man, what a finish there, Jimmy. I know that you were not looking forward to that final caution there. Take us through what you thought once that last group of cautions came out.
Kind of expect it. It's nothing against the league. Yeah, every single race in real life and in iRacing, it seems like they all kind of come down to that. So it's just about getting your mind in the right spot and understanding that you still gotta hit your restarts. You don't want to choke it, and you want to get to victory lane.
Now we saw you switch it up, and instead of taking the low side on that restart, you took the high side. What was the strategy in that and switching that up?
Yeah, I really thought that, I would get a good launch on the outside. I'd been choosing the bottom the entire time, and I was thinking maybe choosing the outside would throw guys off a little bit, and I think I got just enough of a run. I was a little scared that I was going to over-rev it and fence it right into the outside wall, but we were able to figure it out. We did a little bit of testing under the caution on the banking, seeing where the limits were of the rear tires, and got it done.
It definitely paid off, and you are our third repeat winner. So great job. You got it done at Daytona and also tonight at Dover. So we'll be seeing you in the chase. Absolutely. But man, what a run tonight by you. Just a huge congratulations as you sit here with your teammates in victory lane.
Thank you so much. And I just got to give the biggest shout out in the world to Dylan. This is the second time he's finished top 5. Had a great car tonight, able to keep it out of trouble. I'm really proud of him and Sandy. I'm proud of all the guys.
For sure. All right, Pete, we have P2 is going to be Andrew Sanford. A phenomenal run.
Absolutely, just like Jimmy Cocker said, Sandy finishing P2 in that 37 definitely seemed like you had a lot of speed, able to keep up with the pace that the 11 was setting. Walk us through your race and how you were able to keep the tires under that machine on the long runs.
Yeah, I mean, I really having Jimmy as someone just to follow through most of the, especially that last 100 laps, that was massive. I think, I don't know, I think having him to follow through a lot was helping me manage my tires. I think as soon as I got on that off strategy and I tried to jump him on the pit road, I burnt my stuff up for that last run. But I mean, I'll take a P2. That's huge. I have not had a great start to the season, so I'm pretty happy with it, especially with the Team FIWB 1-2-3.
Yeah, another phenomenal race by Team FIWB. Definitely a great representation of the team effort and the strength that y'all have built up in that organization. Multiple winners in that team and the entire breakdown. Congratulations on another runner-up. We go on to the All-Star race next week, and we'll see y'all there. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Looking forward to All-Star Week. Should be a lot of fun.
No doubt. Dylan Robb, Eliza, Jimmy Cocker just mentioned him for his P3 finish, and he's with you.
I know. Dylan gained 27 spots. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. Take us through your race, how you made your way through the field, and how was your car feeling?
Dude, I have no idea. It was like lap 20 when they all wrecked, and I was starting on. That's the only time I started on the top besides that last restart, and I just got through it. There was just a clear lane in front of me because Kevin Dallator, my man, was kind of like my battering ram there, and able to clear that lane up for me. It was pretty great. You know, unfortunately, he had damage, kind of threw off the rest of his race, but thankfully, I'm thankful for that happening. It was just a wild moment.
Absolutely. All right, I gotta ask, dirty air, was that a huge issue tonight? And how did you get around that?
Yeah, it was a pretty decent issue for a little bit. I didn't take a set of tires till like lap 85. So that also didn't help. But we ended up taking those tires at that caution, made up a couple spots, got that free pass, and then just try to work our way all the way up. We got up to about 7th, because we had another caution, of course. So, I mean, that all helped out, but once I was ahead of the lap cars, sorry, I'm struggling. Once I was ahead of the lap cars, I kind of figured I have nothing going on out back. I could just focus on everything out front, because I didn't think any of them would get a good enough restart to really affect me at all. And it was already kind of squirrely getting up into the front stretch, but we made it.
You made it, and you made it in the top 3. Just a fabulous finish for you and a great race. So congratulations on a top 3. Great to have you out here in the booth, and hope to see more of it. You guys are great teammates, man. You know that it is a great celebration when you have your teammates out there and it is silent on track because you blew your engine celebrating. So you know these guys had fun. All right, Pete, that is it for us tonight. Next week, you guys heard it, we are going to head to the All-Star race at Texas. It is going to be the Legacy version, so it is going to be extremely fun. Look for details. We're going to have a fan vote, and we'll be letting you know what's going to be happening next week.
Have a great night,
Vote the number 16, guys.
Oh my god.
There you go. You're already hearing
Shameless
it right there.
plugs.
All right. We'll see you guys next week for the All-Star race. It's going to be 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Take it easy, guys.